Xpeng have finally launched the new X9 MPV. It is definitely my favorite car, the car that I personally want the most at this point in time. Fortunately, I may be able to get one. I mean, as you guys know, my current situation with family might prevent that from happening, but you never know. You never know. You can always dream. I'm in Hong Kong right now. I was here for the last night for the global launch of the new X9 MPV. Managed to, for a brief couple of moments, meet the CEO. He was very friendly. He doesn't speak particularly good English, so he probably didn't understand what I was saying all that well. But anyway, it was a fun night. And what I came away with was, to be honest, shocked at how much work Xpeng had put into improving a vehicle that was already the best-selling MPV in China. It's already the best-selling electric MPV in China in the premium segment, and it is premium, that's for sure. It's incredibly premium. The price has been reduced. There is a new entry-level model that starts at $49,000. The mid-spec model is around $55,000. That has about 720 kilometers of CLTC range, so probably just over 600 kilometers of range. That's the model that most people probably buy. That's the rear-wheel drive, long-range version of the X9, and that thing is just awesome. But anyway, all three models are awesome. The premium version is all-wheel drive, and then apparently they're going to have a premium version. It's going to be more expensive and come with everything standard, including their new suspension, which is dual chamber air suspension combined with magnetic dampers. Plus they have this new it's actually kind of similar to BYD's new suspension system. Maybe in some ways a little better. It reduces roll enormously. We saw the car do a slalom course, corners and corners and corners, and body roll was incredibly minimal. So what they said they focused on was trying to make sure people don't get what I get, which is when you feel sick when you're driving, right? Car sickness really sucks. Whenever women are pregnant and they get that nausea feeling, I say, I know how you feel, sort of, because I get car sick and it's horrendous. And I think it's kind of similar to that, right? Now let's just run over a few of the details. The new platform, it's Xpeng's new EV platform, and it will be capable of charging at around 500 kilowatt. You can charge the battery, they say, in 12 minutes from 10 to 80%, which is ridiculously fast. And honestly, I don't think you need anything better than that. That's amazing. So there's 4 variants. There's the new base model for $49,000. The difference with the base model versus the one level up long range is it just has a slightly smaller battery. Speaking of the size though, the car's size is the same. It's around 5.3 meters long. So it's a little bigger than a Kia Carnival, but has more interior space because of the packaging. It's one of the best packaged cars I've ever seen. And that means it's also extremely aerodynamic. Because of the shape of the car, they've been able to make it quite efficient. They say has similar efficiency to something like a Tesla Model Y. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what they say. Battery sizes. Okay, the base model that costs $49,000 has a 95 kilowatt hour battery pack, 800 volt battery, and it has 650 kilometers of CLTC range. So it's probably around 550 kilometers WLTP. If you're wondering about price, my estimate, I don't actually know this for sure, but this is an educated guess, is a $90,000 starting price in Australia, meaning it will be unquestionably the best value 7-seat electric vehicle or any kind of vehicle, 7-seat vehicle period, in overseas markets. So it has 5C charging, which means actually it's not 12 minutes. It can charge from 10 to 80% in 11.7 minutes, says CNEV Post. Now I met the actual main editor and the owner of CNEV Post, and he was a really cool guy. So guys, make sure you jump on CNEV Post and support the channel. What they're doing is fantastic work by providing us with information about their cars. Now, the top 3 versions of this car, the mid-spec, high-spec, and the ultra-luxury, have a 105 kilowatt hour NMC battery pack with a CLTC range of between 700 kilometers to 740, depending on if it's rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. What about power? Well, the single motor versions, all the rear-wheel drive versions, they have 235 kilowatts, and that's about 300 horsepower, and 450 newton meters of torque. They'll do 0 to 100 in 7.7 seconds. The all-wheel drive version is much faster because it adds a 135 kilowatt, which is about 170 horsepower motor to the front axle. That means it can do 0 to 100, 0 to 62 miles an hour in 5.7 seconds. More than enough speed in an MPV. So the new version ditches LiDAR. Its predecessor, the older version, had LiDAR, and it's now going to be using the P7 Plus, the autonomous driving software, the Turing chip, and the vision-focused autonomous driving software, which I think is a big improvement. One other big improvement, and I've mentioned this in my previous video, is it has rear wheel steering, and we saw this in action. The turning radius is 5.4 meters, which is less than many mid-sized cars. It's much, much less than any other MPV on the market. It's actually very similar to the way the Cybertruck can do it. It can get a really short turning circle. Massively important, right? You've driven a big car. You know what it's like trying to park it, trying to do sharp turns. It's a pain in the butt. It's stressful. So a big difference to have that rear wheel steering. That's something that some Porsche vehicles have. A lot of, not a lot, but a few really expensive cars come with that feature. So that's a pretty cool feature. Here are some interesting numbers. X9. Xpeng delivered 21,653 of these in 2024, which was 11.4% of Xpeng's annual deliveries of 190,000 last year. That's from information from CNEV Post. It shows you that actually this is one of the best-selling MPVs in China. I think now, as a result of some of the improvements we've seen in this vehicle, and the fact that there's a cheaper entry-level model, and the fact that actually it's going to come with the P7 Plus's autonomous driving software at no cost, well, you can see that this is going to absolutely kill the market in China. And I think overseas as well, it'll be the best-selling MPV, best-selling electric MPV in the world, almost certainly. Xpeng delivered 33,205 vehicles in March. That was their 5th month in a row of delivering more than 30,000 cars, and it meant that they came 7th in China, which was an amazing, amazing result. So summarizing the models, guys, the cheapest model is called the Long Range Max. It has 650 kilometers of CLTC range, and it starts at $49,900 US. The Ultra Long Range Max is, well, it has a 740 kilometer range, rear-wheel drive as well, $52,500, and that's the longest range version you can get. The all-wheel drive Performance Max, add an extra motor, it's an extra $2,700. That one has a 700 kilometer range, and it's $55,000 US. Pretty good value for only $2,500 to add that extra front motor if you want that for driving. If you're in a place where it's gets snowy, gets wet, or you need that all-wheel drive ability. The Starship Edition comes with everything standard. It comes with their new suspension system standard. Otherwise, you'd have to pay for that as an option. It also comes with the Napa leather seats as standard, zero gravity seats as standard. That's $57,800 US. I actually think that's the best value version that they're selling because of all the standard inclusions that the car gets. Yeah, like I said, I'm a huge fan of this vehicle, and I think you needed to be at this show. Xpeng have completely changed this car. Apparently, it's got 35% of the car is new. I think they changed hundreds and hundreds of parts, so it's a very different to the previous model. And one of my favorite features I want to share with you guys, I already have, but I love those rear seats, the seats right at the back, the fact that you can just press one single button and they fold down into the floor of the vehicle just completely flat. And then there was one on one of the vehicles at the show, and it had the seats folded down into the floor, and there was 4 mountain bikes just lined up in the back. It's so good for that kind of thing, right? So good for having kids and going on adventures and that kind of stuff. And one other final feature I think is worth mentioning if you've got kids is it has a 21.4-inch rear entertainment screen. It's a massive screen, and I think that's going to be awesome for kids. If you're going on road trips, it's really kind of the perfect car. Even for adults, you could have a date night in the car, sit in the back seats. It's got massage seats that recline, and zero gravity seats. You can sit there, have a massage session, watch a movie. I think it'd be pretty cool. One other feature I forgot. It's also got an 11-liter refrigerator or heater, and that apparently can cool down 11 water bottles at once, which is pretty nice. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And, what do you think competes with this? I can't see anything competing with this because everything else is a lot more expensive, but let me know what you think are some other considerations and whether or not you would buy this car. If there's any features that it has or doesn't have that you're after, let us know in the comments, because remember that Xpeng do often read the comments. Bye-bye.